What's up guys, Fer here, and today we're going to be talking about Big Mom's Soru Soru fruit and a possible connection it has to devil fruit users or devil fruits as a whole. And I think this is something that people aren't really talking about. Even though we've seen a fair bit of Big Mom's powers, I think Oda has only shown the surface when it comes to her powers because she hasn't faced anyone that is remotely close to her level. For example, if she was to fight against individuals like Shanks or Kaido, she would definitely show higher abilities than the ones she's already shown. And let's not forget about how heavily nerfed she was during Whole Cake. A good portion of Whole Cake was Big Mom in a shock state, whereas her powers couldn't even work properly. And even then, the only thing anyone could achieve was to stall her. Now, Big Mom has had the Soru Soru fruit ever since she was 5 years old. I think there's a high chance that she's an awakened devil fruit user, which would ultimately take her already overpowered ability to above and beyond. So when it comes to the full potential of a Yonko, we have yet to see what the full power Yonko looks like. And Big Mom being one of those individuals definitely has a lot more to show. But we're not here to talk about power levels. I'm here to talk about the Soru Soru fruit and how the ability works, because it might honestly be one of the fruits that has the power to interact with other fruits. But before we get into this video, like the video and subscribe if you're new here. Now, it's heavily hinted that devil fruits are just fruits that host some kind of spirit slash soul, and this is the actual thing that gives the user said power from said fruit, not the fruit itself. The fruit is only used as a shell in order for people to gain access or to attain said ability. And we actually got more information in Dressrosa, where it was explained that once a devil fruit user dies, the soul wanderer still finds a new fruit, which will eventually become a devil fruit. Just like we saw in the case of Smiley during Punk Hazard, whereas once he died, the fruit got reanimated into one of the apples that was close by. And we also saw that Doflamingo obtained Ace's fruit post time skip. Now, where he actually got the fruit from, we're not sure, but given that he was also in Marineford when Ace died, perhaps he had figured something out in the same fashion as Blackbeard. And so one can say that when a person eats a devil fruit, the soul within the fruit merges with the user physically and also in a spiritual sense, therefore giving the user the power of a devil fruit. With that, we can say that devil fruit users are essentially individuals that have two souls within them, the very soul of the user and that of the devil. Now, we've seen cases where devil fruits can be given to inanimate objects, and these objects gain a consciousness of their own, and this should remind you of how Big Mom's powers work. She can infuse souls into inanimate objects, and once infused, they have a consciousness of their own. It's almost the same thing, but the difference here with cases like Smiley, which was a gas that ate a devil fruit, is that what we're actually seeing is the soul manifested into a physical form, which essentially confirms that devil souls do have a form and a consciousness of their own. Now, in Whole Cake Island, we were given the first mention of Big Mom's powers by Pound, which is the Soru Soru fruit, which gives her the ability to manipulate souls. She's able to extract souls from people in a form of lifespan, which can only be achieved if the person willingly accepts to have their soul taken, or forcefully when the person shows signs of fear. She's also capable of infusing souls into inanimate objects and animals, which in return humanizes them in the process. And this is why Toto Land functions as well as it is. There's homies on every single island that were created using the souls of the citizens. I think it's easily the most versatile ability in the entire series, given that she can make anything into her ally. Now, just like every devil fruit in One Piece, the Soru Soru fruit also has its drawbacks, and one of the bigger ones is that she cannot infuse souls into human corpses, dead or alive. This was the explanation that was given to us. Now, it never said that she could only harness the souls of people, or it had to be human souls specifically. And so I came to the conclusion that Big Mom could potentially harness other souls, such as that of devil fruits. Obviously, this would be a higher level of the Soru Soru fruit's power, maybe some sort of awakening, because if Big Mom can take people's souls at a base level, we can only imagine what her awakening would be. And it's obviously going to be different from the likes of Katakuri and Doflamingo, because her fruit doesn't work in the same fashion as those guys. And this wouldn't be the first time we've seen the devil fruit ability interact with other devil fruits directly, and this goes all the way to Blackbeard. Blackbeard's Yami Yami no Mi was the first example we saw, whereas his devil fruit power allows him to precisely absorb or pull the body of devil fruit users, which ultimately stops one's power from working. And given that Blackbeard is also one of the most knowledgeable individuals when it comes to devil fruits, we also know that he was able to somehow steal Whitebeard's fruit during Marineford, which more than likely has something to do with his power to negate the ability of devil fruit users. Now, my headcanon of how it happened was that once Whitebeard died, the soul of the devil was released, but instead of going through the cycle of reincarnation, Blackbeard stopped it before it could happen. He then used an ability that's similar to Dark Vortex, which is the same ability he uses to negate devil fruit powers. He was then able to store it into himself. Now, I personally think that him stealing controlling the fruit and having two fruits are two different things. I think they were done in separate ways. However, the darkness fruit plays a huge role in all of this. Big Mom could very well have some sort of ability that is very similar to Blackbeard that allows her to interact or affect Devil Fruit souls given the definition of the Soru Soru fruit. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that she has an ability of this class. Big Mom is a Yonko with arguably the most versatile Devil Fruit in the verse. I wouldn't be surprised if she had something incredibly overpowered. And this could all tie into the favor Big Mom did for Kaido, or maybe this could be one of the reasons of his immortality. And perhaps we might get more information about this since Big Mom is in Wano right now. But as always, like the video if you liked it. What are your thoughts? Comment down below what you guys think, and subscribe for more One Piece content. It is Pharaoh, and I will see you guys later. Peace.